We back. Another conversations of power. Got the big homie back up in here, man. How you doing?
Yeah, man. I'm doing all right, bro.
Yeah,
Hanging
man.
in there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Looking good. I see you always. I see you always rocking that fresh new gear. You know what I'm saying? Every time I see you, you got something I ain't never seen you in before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, they got you. You gotta we gotta rock the brand. You gotta rep the brand.
Yeah. I try to, keep it moving. That's the thing. Just try to keep it moving.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So what's been going on? Tell me how, before we get in the conversation, how you been doing? How everything been going?
Well, busy. I can put it to you like that. Man, I haven't been able to catch a break, because my life is chaotic, but in a good way, not
Yeah.
in a bad way. I'm just got so much going on, man. Like, I don't even have time for me, with everything that I'm trying to do and put in place and, just the basic life necessities, to move forward. You're doing the same exact thing.
Yes,
You know
sir.
what I'm saying? We see each other, and yet at the same time, you're all over the place. But I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I'm like, I see you, but then when we're not seeing each other, I'm all over the place. I'm just doing things and getting things. Oh, got to do this, got to take care of that. Oh, let's put this into play. Oh, where I got to fly to next? What I got to do? But I'll be honest, I enjoy it, man. It doesn't bother me. You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
It does. It doesn't seem like work. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Not to me, it doesn't.
Just living. We just living out the mission. You know, we just living it out.
Hmm.
I know a lot of people always tell me, man, you do a lot. I'm like, it don't seem like because I'm just living. I guess it's a lot wrapped in my life, but I'm just living life. So it's not like you said, it's not work. It's not a lot. It's just
Right.
I wake up and I take care of this. I wake up and I do that. I'm always thinking, and
Hmm.
I wouldn't even know no other route. I wouldn't even know no other way. I don't know how to just like sit down, do one thing, and just sell. I don't know how to do
Hmm.
that. I think I'd be miserable if I tried to do live like that. So
Yeah.
sometimes it seems like a lot, but when it's that's why we always say a lifestyle. When it's your lifestyle and you live it, it's not as much as it might seem to the
Hmm.
ordinary person that just kind of go to work and come home and chill.
Yeah.
It looks more to that type of person than us. We just know. When I see what you're doing, I'm like, oh yeah, it's just no, it's normal. You know what I'm saying? It's normal, and that's the main thing we try to get to the community, having these conversations, having these thought processes, and having this type of motion be normal.
Hmm.
If we had more people in our community that this type of lifestyle was normal, our community would automatically go up. You know what I'm saying? Automatically become more wealthy.
Exactly.
So these are things we just try to live by example, and that's what I got off of. I was trying to do a lot of teaching, with the school and everything, and I'm like, you know what? I just need to do. It's cool to still teach
Hmm.
and everything, and you still want to bring people along when you can, and give people advice here and there, this and that. But it's just time for me to live it and really bring it to fruition. And the crazy thing about it, all that teaching, it seems like people listen to you more when they just see you doing it instead of you just trying to sit back and teach every day. If you just do it,
Hmm.
you'll get more more people, more traction with people just by seeing. I get hit the inbox every day, man, this and that. People want to know about
Hmm.
the stocks. People want to know about this, and I love it. But that's what I've been trying to do. But I guess when I said forget it, I ain't gonna do that no more. I'm just gonna focus on building what I'm building now. It's coming along, so it's coming full circle,
Hmm.
and it kind of leads into our conversation tonight about competition. Because me, I sit back and observe. There's one thing. Me and you have a lot of things in common. You know what I'm saying? We sit back, observe.
Right.
We sit back, observe it. And my biggest thing is I like to just kind of like gauge the mindset of the community and people in the community. And there go another great guy in the community, man. What's up, Doc? Yeah, I need to lock in with you, man. I see what you're doing over there in Africa, man. I love what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing, bro.
Hmm.
Yeah, but like the competition thing is weird because I always tell people I can't compete with anyone, especially in the immediate community. Like the people I compete with, I'm not even in their league yet, and I know that. And see that, and see, this is the part I want to get out to people in the community. It's great to compete. It's great to a healthy competition. Yes, like my boy Victor always say, healthy competition is great, right? When it comes hate and
Exactly.
envy and all that, that's a different thing. But healthy competition is great. But healthy competition with logic thinking at the same time,
Hmm.
like
No, I agree.
yeah, when I say that, okay, I'm looking at the Warren Buffetts or whoever I'm looking at, the guys that's doing it on an astronomical level. To me, in my
Right.
mind, that's my competition because I want to one day be on that level. Logically, I understand I'm nowhere near that level at the same time. You see what I'm saying? So a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
us be in competition with people that logically we're not even on that level yet, but in our minds, we think so much of ourselves that we can't differentiate the two. Like I can
Mhm.
say that, oh yeah, Warren Buffett, that's my competition. So I want to make moves. I want to do things. How would he make this move? How would he think about that? But logically, I know I'm not nowhere near this man competition. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So
right.
and that's what I want to really push out. That it's great to compete, especially when it's healthy. It's great to motivate each other and strive to do anything. But we have to be logical in this because we have a lot of people in our community that feels like they're on certain levels and logically and just. I mean, we can see you. Like we all have eyes. We can see
You're
you.
right.
We all been around for decades. We know that
Mhm.
nowhere near the way you think you are, and that's what I'm saying. So it's not like to down people, but it's about okay, great, think highly of yourself, but be logical at the same time, and,
Exactly.
and give it up to people that you know really doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like Doc Tony Nora on here. Like I'm not nowhere near where he's at when it comes to like the health and all that. That's his lane. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
I don't have no problem saying that. But my lane is my lane, and I'm great at my lane. So we have to be
Right.
able to salute everybody else that's in their lane and not be, oh man, forget that man, because I'm this and that. But you nowhere near what that guy do. You know what I'm saying? Like it's somebody that's probably
Right.
sitting back that don't know nothing about industry, sitting back talking about, man, Kimo ain't really doing nothing. I could outdo him in industry. Okay, well, go do it. But so logically, it's good to feel that way personally.
Right.
But logically, that's nowhere near the truth. So
No, you're right.
so I just want to
You,
have that conversation with you tonight. What do you think about the competition, the unhealthy, the healthy competition, and being logical even when you're thinking highly of yourself? You still have to be logical in that situation.
I mean, I'll give it to you from a different perspective of what I think um, about competition because I was kind of like groomed different.
Uh,
I was always told never fear competition, join it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no reason to compete with anybody when there's so much room for growth and there's so much room for success in this big old world that we live in. So, a perfect example of that is we talked about it last week, and I was telling you about the grocery store thing, right? And that story was something that made me think about competition. Like, why am I going to compete with Tony and his barbecue sauce? No, I ain't gonna do that. What I'm gonna do is, hey, Tony, I got a barbecue sauce too. Yeah, you do? All right, hey, taste mine. Ooh, that's pretty good. But you're missing something. Okay, what is that? Blah, blah, blah. I tell you what, let's work together and let's put both of these
yeah,
on the map.
start a condiment line. Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's that's how I looked at competition.
Sure.
I never looked at it like everybody else looks at competition like, we're competing to win $1 million. Yeah, you are competing to win $1 million, but I ain't competing against you to win $1 million. I'm strategizing what I'm going to do to get that $1 million. You know what I'm saying? That's just my way of thinking. Like, I don't know what's in your brain, and why should I care? You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't be focusing on you and what you're doing. I should be focusing on whatever it is I'm trying to obtain, whether it be $1 million in a contest or a competition or whatever you want to call it. we have to look at this totally different. You know how many auto dealers are sitting right across from each other?
Yeah.
They have auto parts.
Fast foods, yeah, all that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, so I hope people understand like what I'm saying when I'm saying they ain't worried about the taco shop across the street.
They wake up and
You know
do
what
that.
I'm saying?
They focus on what they got to do. And some
There
people
you
that's go
go.
to you, and some people that go to them, and that's what you live with those results. You just like it's a McDonald's. About every McDonald's you're gonna find a Wendy's, this and that, and all of them know McDonald's make the most money. But they are all multi-million-dollar businesses. They don't care about how much. They're worried about the people that's gonna come buy their burger. You know, they're not worried about, oh, let me pocket watch McDonald's and see. And I understand. See, this is a mindset thing because, and I like to talk about these things because it's like me working through my therapy, right? These my conversation with you like you know what I'm saying, you the big homie, you the counselor, but you're like my therapist too, because I get the
right.
I like a lot of my crazy thoughts, I get to blurt them out to you, and then I get to hear your rebuttal, this and that. But I understand the mindset because coming from the streets, you kind of have that only me competition, forget everybody else. So I have that mindset. I had that mindset, right? And what I thought about is about a week ago. You know, I deliver food to the job sites, right? So another black guy that be doing the turkey legs, he pulled up one day, and you know some of the workers that came out there. Oh man, he trying to take some of your money, this and that. I said no, he ain't taking nothing of mine. People that's gonna come deal with me, and people that's gonna go deal with him. But back in the days, I don't know if I would have thought like that. But you know what I end up doing? I end up going over there, having a conversation with him. I end up getting his phone number, and I end up, figuring out how we can do things together. And I sold out that day. That's the first day I had sold out in a while because I have an abundance mindset now. I don't feel like nobody can take what's meant for me no more. Like back in the days, I felt like that coming from the streets. Oh yeah, you on my block, you might be taking a couple licks from me, this and that, But now I have an abundant mindset. So if somebody doing that, the first thing I told them, I said, man, I don't know why they think you competition. I'm just happy to see, just to be frank, I say I'm happy to see another black person out here because normally it's other races out here, and we try to make that money. So when I see another black person out there, hey man, hey, get yours. I asked him, man, you look older. Where your young school at? Where this and that? I said, yeah. I said, man, you got to move fast because they got breaks for 20 minutes. And then, see, he had his whole table set up. So by the time I served my dishes and I went to the other side, he was still stuck there. He couldn't move that fast.
Right.
So I was over there giving him game and I telling him how we can make money out together. I told him about my food truck park that I'm opening up, this and that and this. And that's the day I sold out because it's really true. When you have an abundant mindset, more money flow to you. It's weird though. When you willing to share, and when you're not looking at everybody as bad competition, when you're not looking at everybody as somebody that you got to go against, really more stuff comes to you. It's weird. More stuff comes to you. And that's what I want our community to understand. Yes, it's cool to be in competition. I'm not in competition with nobody in my community because it's not no billionaires running around here. So that's the reason why I'm not in competition. Like, because my competition is like, and not even competition, but it's a healthy competition where I strive to want to be a billionaire. So like, by saying that, my competition has to be people in that lane. I can't compete with somebody that's making a couple $1,000 if I'm talking about being a billionaire. Like that don't even make sense.
Exactly.
So we have to understand, like I say, thinking logically, but having an abundance mindset where we can't do nothing but help each other. Like I don't feel like if I reshare your case, say Jay. Outfit. I don't feel like, oh, now somebody ain't not gonna buy a Welter's Gangster shirt, like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that
right.
cross my mind. But we have people in the community that do that. Oh, he got shirts. I can't share his stuff because I got shirts. Or he sell food, so I can't share his food because I sell food. Like we got instead of realizing that we can be like, oh man, like I got a catering job that's coming up. I'm calling on one of my partners that I know in catering. I'll bust it down with him. You know what I'm saying? Just because I know he's already in that lane, and I kind of got this opportunity just by my hustle. And that's one of the things I'm gonna be talking about at this conference coming up September 7th. You know what I'm saying? Build to win. Because my whole thing is I'm not no guru when it comes to the stocks. I'm not no guru when it comes to credit. I'm not no real estate guru. I'm not none of that. All I am is a guy that got a drive out this world that ain't gonna stop, that's just got a hustle out this world, that just built to go through the ups and downs. I'm just built for whatever. I'm just, I guess, I'm just built strong for whatever I got to get through to make it to get to the end of the mission. That's it. So you're gonna be people talking about credit and get your credit. I haven't got nothing with my credit in my life, so I can't speak on that.
Right.
I've never got a bank loan, so I can't speak on how to go get money. Do I know it's a good thing? Yes, OPM. I get all those terms and all those great things. All I can tell you is everything I got, it came out grind. Everything I got came out ups and downs, and I was just persevered through it. And I got a mindset that's gonna push me through it. That's all I can tell you about. I can't tell you about the rules of this and that. So that's what I'm be speaking on at that event. But that's what I want our community to understand. We got a abundance mindset, and you got to grind out this world. Can't nobody stop nothing you're doing. It might be people that's better. Nope. Yes, it's plenty of people got better credit than me. It's plenty of people that got more resources than me. But I guarantee you one thing: they not gonna outthink me and outgrind me. No one's gonna do that. You might beat me in a lot of other areas, but when it comes to plotting, planning, thinking, executing, ain't nobody beat me. Not in my lane. So that's what I wake up with, and that's what I run with. And so it's nothing for me to see. Oh man, so this dude got a like you said, barbecue sauce. Okay, I talk to people every day with a barbecue sauce. I tell them, you know what I tell them?
Exactly.
This is what I always tell them. And even with my potato salad, I tell them the same thing. I said the problem in our community is we got some of the best cooks in the house, but they're going to die with those recipes because nobody ever put it on the shelf. So I inspired them to go put it on the shelf. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you tell me you got something that I got, I'm like, so what, are you turning it into a business? Are you bottling it up? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? I'm not going to think like, oh man, I got that already. You don't need to do that. No, do it because this is what I'm doing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I'm taking it to the shelf. I'm putting it, I want to go compete with the people on the shelf. And we should all, instead of competing with each other on a low level, let's go compete with the people that already got the shelf space, the people that's already manufacturing and producing the big stuff. Forget our little stuff we making in our kitchen. I want to compete with the people that's getting it made in the big factories. So when we do compete with each other, we compete with each other on a level that don't even make no sense. Let's go compete with the big boys that's really doing it.
Exactly. But see, our minds aren't built that way. It's funny you say that because I was always told from a long time ago that I just think different. Everybody who is somebody thinks different. It doesn't matter what you do. We all think different. You make, potato salad. I make potato salad. Jimmy makes potato salad. Kanisha makes potato salad. What's the point in competing over some damn potato salad? Because we all think different. Yeah. I may not even want to take my potato salad and put it on the shelf. I might say, I just want to take my potato salad and donate it to, old folks' homes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Come in each week and my potato salad, that's where I want it to go. And it's all about that. It's not about, I got to make this potato salad be better than so-and-so's potato. She made $2 billion off of her potato salad. So I got to make mine better than her. No. There's a reason why that person made that type of money. Okay. And in another good example of this is, let's talk about this country we live in. All right. And I tell people all the time, I said, this country is one of the biggest capitalist countries in the world. Okay. Now, I'm not saying other countries aren't capitalist, but this is the biggest one. And they don't care about competition. When they put stuff in your food, when they do things, they ain't worried about what the other guy is doing over here. What they're worried about is how much they can control and how much money they can save by altering our food products. Okay. And this is not an example to even get on that topic. That's a whole nother topic. Yeah. But the point is this: there's not a lack thereof of any type of manufacturing or a lack thereof of any type of production in the movie business. Hollywood, right? Tubi, Scooby, Prime, Netflix, somebody's flicks, OG crop flicks. That's all out there.
Wait, wealth is
Okay.
gangster coming soon.
Wealth is gangster. Exactly.
Right in the part of.
Exactly. And that's where the focus not has to be, Tony. It can't be. It's what I said in the beginning. I was always told, don't worry about competition, join them.
Yeah.
That I think like Byron Allen, And for those of you that don't know Byron Allen, you need to Google him and look it up, because he ain't worried about trying to outdo anybody. Yeah. He's joining them.
Yeah, building a conglomerate.
He's yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's the most important part of competition. But in our community, competition runs rampant. And one of the examples is how can I get something for free? And that expectation to me is not competition, because it's like you'll sit up here and you'll listen to, Kimo and Tony on this, show, and you'll sit back and you'll try to dissect the things that made us successful, because you figure out, oh, well, I ain't paying for it and they giving the gems. That's missing the whole point. Okay. Because it's hypocritical, one, because you want to gain some type of wealth or control without being in competition, but then you want the competition to come and advance themselves into whatever it is you're trying to do. Buy my clothes. But I'm in competition, from their perspective.
Yeah.
I'm over here, I'm in competition with you, but I'm not in competition, but you want me to come over and buy from you when you've been looking at everything I've been doing and trying to compete with me.
Yeah.
Does it make sense, Tony?
And haven't bought anything and supported, and that's what, it's one thing, like I always tell people, like when it comes to support or something, like it's not even like going on a nonprofit tip for a second. Like it's no nonprofit that I know of. I mean, I don't know but the nonprofits that I do know
of, lots of them.
Yeah, but in this area, the nonprofits that I do know of that have done things, I have showed up just because, not because I was invited, not because to me that energy, me just showing that energy, not expecting nothing. I don't need to be a part of it. I don't need to be on the flyer. I just come to support your cause, right?
Right.
That energy, it comes back, even if that person, because most of them have never came to support my cause, but it's not even about this. It's not even a keep and score thing. My energy of showing that love comes back. You know what I'm saying? And that's why the people, and like even for like my birthday that just passed by, it's a lot of people that don't normally show me love, but gave me a lot of love because they know that I show up and I just give. I show up and I salute. I'm not in no competition with nobody because I tell people all the time, we all at the bottom. I don't care. You might be looking a little better than me. You might have a better car than me. You might have a better house than me. Until we get to a certain level, we're all broke, quote unquote, compared to the system. And you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Compare. But our thing is, we look at each other and be like, oh, I got a better car than that other person, so I'm doing better than you. Mm-hmm. So, like, you got a higher car note than me too. You got a better house, but you got a higher mortgage than me too. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like that. That fancy stuff don't matter to me. To my thing is, what are we doing as a group? Because even though now I told you, like this last year. In 1 year, I've changed my life. Last year I was in the red. I was trying to open up this school. I was community this. I was community that. I was mentors this. I was all about everybody else but me, right? And damn near took myself out, like physically sick and couldn't sleep and all kind of stuff, and financially sick. Mm-hmm. So it took for me to say, you know what? It's all about me for this next couple years, and everything has changed in 1 year, like literally. Went from being down 100 something to up a couple, you know what I'm saying? Like literally, and not because it's on a personal thing, because I had to put me first so I can get back to what I really want to do, and that's put everybody on. Like even if you see my poster last week, all it talk about is Temple, other people, how I'm gonna give other people opportunities. Even though right now I'm still in my quote unquote selfish phase, I can't be. I was telling my guy the other day, I said, man, I can't think so selfish because I want to be a billionaire. And you can't
Right.
find one. You can't find a billionaire that only worried about himself. To be a billionaire, you know how many people you need to be attached to. You know how many people you need to make millionaires. Do you know how many people that needs
Yeah,
to?
I do.
You know what I'm saying? Like you cannot be a billionaire running a mom and pop store. It's just never going to happen. Like you have to have a big huge corporation, a LLC that's in the corporation that's in the trust. You got to be able to trust all kind of people from different walks of life. You got to be able to put this job in this person's hand. Like to be a billionaire, you have to deal with the people. So for me to want to be a billionaire in my mind, I can't think solo or individual or just me. I will never get to that level. And that's what we don't. That's what a lot of us miss. We don't realize that. Are you going to run across bad people? Are you going to run across headaches? Are you going to run across people that you just cut off? Sure, but that's part of the bit. That's part of business. You know what I'm saying? But for us, we run across one bad person. Oh man, I ain't messing with nobody else no more. I'm through with everybody. Yeah. Well, you ain't trying to go far. I promise you, you ain't going far with that mindset. You know. So like I say, it's all about mindset. But competition, we have to stop being compete because I see it all the time. And people, the weirdest thing is when people act like they're not in competition, but all their moves and the way they post is competition.
Competition, yeah.
Like you like at least be real with yourself, you know. Like, but they say in rehab, you have to before you can really kick it, you have to say you're an addict. You got to really be able to, you got to be able to look in that mirror and be real with yourself. It's a lot of people like, oh, I'm not in competition and this and that. I'm not in this. I support everybody, but you really don't. I'm not in competition, but you compete with everybody. I support everybody, but I never see you support nobody. So we say stuff that look good to the public, but I sit back and watch your work, man. I remember being on the street corner. An old guy used to tell me all the time, "You could tell by the work, youngster." And I ain't know what he meant for a long time, but now when I think about it, I see what he's true. Forget what you're saying. I could tell by what I see you do. I could tell by what I've seen you done. Like, no matter what I say, people can go back and look at my last 20 years and be like, okay, it matches up. I could tell by his work what he's saying now matches up. What he's talking about now matches up. Like, it's a lot of people that talk, but when you look at their work or their life, like that's not matching up. You telling me you this and that, but it ain't matching up with what I'm saying.
Yeah, so, it doesn't add up. Yeah,
it don't add up, and that's what I mean. We got to be logical about it. We got to be logical about what we're saying and what we feel about ourselves, because smart people gonna watch the work and realize that you're just full of it.
And it's true. You know, I couldn't said it better myself, man. I mean, you know, it's absolutely 1,000% true for the simple fact that we don't think about those things. If you ever go through life, you know, like I got a lot of wisdom. Like people don't really know how old I am, but you know, I'm a baby boomer. And you know, baby boomers was a different generation. We kind of created most of the wealth that's in this world. You know what I'm saying? You know, the generation before us kind of laid the foundation, and then the baby boomers came and it was like, what? Okay, let's start building factories. Let's start doing this. So, you know, we created this capitalist type situation. Yeah. The problem is this. The reason why it hasn't morphed into what we produce as baby boomers is for the simple fact of competition. When did that come into play? Because if you look back at Kellogg's and Post cereal and, you know, some of the other ones that are out there, what they did when the first person said, hey, I'm going to make a cereal and I'm going to make it out of corn and I'm going to make cornflake, right? And they go out and they figure it out. They be in their kitchen, they figure it out. Then they figure it out. And then somebody sees it. And this is going to kind of make sense in a minute. Somebody sees it and they say, wow, this guy's made a cereal. You know, oh, so he had the capabilities of doing this. So I just need to know, well, what did he do? So then they find out, like, what did you do? And then, you know, inadvertently, they may take a meeting or whatever, and they say, this is what I did. That person goes back and they say, well, you know, I'm going to create a cereal, but I'm not going to create a cornflake. I'm going to create something else. Yeah. But at the end of the day, a cereal is a cereal is a cereal. Yeah. Okay. this factory emerges, and what they put into it is then passed down. Okay, but our problem is we're creating businesses that can't be passed down. I'm just saying.
You the industry man. You're supposed to say.
Yeah.
No,
They can't be passed down.
Yeah, that's a hard truth.
They can't be passed down. You open up an ice cream shop. Don't get me wrong. It's a business. It's a small business, right? It could be a family-owned business. But passing it down, that's yet to be seen. And here's the reason why. Until we start understanding that we need to connect our thoughts and we need to connect our collaboration efforts, we will never create industry. You know what I'm saying? And I don't care who it's with. Yeah. We can open up all the small businesses that we want to, but the fact remains that those small businesses eventually, when tariffs start to hit, is going to go out of business. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna struggle. Why? Oh, tariffs hit. You know, how do I get over that? My ice cream costs $1,000 now. You know what I'm saying? Oh, so maybe I need to make the ice cream myself.
Yeah, that's what I was about
to say. That's what you should have did in the first place. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But that ain't what we do. We find the shortcut. And the shortcut is, oh, well, there's this place over in, Guadalajara that makes all the ice cream and the flavors that I want, and I just ship it over here, and then I hike the price up. But that doesn't make sense. You go out of business, and Guadalajara is still shipping ice cream around the world.
Somewhere else, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm just trying to make it make sense.
And I mean, that goes to my point about us just living it and doing it. Like, it's
right.
When you see me, you see the barbecue sauce, you see the potato salad. These are it's starting off in my kitchen and stuff. But we talk what we talk about all the time. Industry. Yeah. We need to figure out how to scale that. That barbecue sauce can be going around long after I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? Still be long as it's set up right. That potato salad can be going long as like the Wealth is Gangster Network. That's TV shows. I don't have to be around for that type of stuff. So this is what I'm saying, and I'm that person that used to be what you're saying. Mm-hmm. We were, but just being around you, I was like, okay, I'm on to something, but I'm still thinking too small. I wasn't thinking the bigger picture. That's how I was thinking. I was happy to have my little mom and pop store. I was happy to have, what I'm saying? I was happy to have that, because the main reason most of us are like that is because most of us are first generation entrepreneurs. Yeah. Most of us think we made it when we open up that storefront. We think we made it. We don't realize that, okay, that's a cool start, but you need to own the field that made the cotton so you can get
exactly.
So if you own the field that got the cotton, then you own the truck that backs up and picks up the cotton. Then you own the factory that the trucks takes the cotton to that makes it into a shirt. Then you have another truck take it to your storefront. Now you own the whole chain. That's what you're talking about. That's how now you can pass that on. Now you can. Now that could be around long after you. And I'm building my first cotton patch now. So that's gonna be part of my farm. We will be doing that and it's gonna be a small version of it. But what I'm doing now in Bartlett is a small version of the bigger farm that I really want. I'm making my mini farm where a guy was talking about yesterday. Deal with what you got. I could be sitting back saying, man, I ain't got no room for no chickens. I ain't got no room for no bees. I ain't got no room for no cotton. I could be saying that because logistically, I do need more acreage to do that, right?
Right.
Or I could say, I got a little bit over half an acre down here at my grandma's house. Let's start with that. And then the guy told me about the cotton. He said, if you got a 10 by 20 cotton field, legally that's looked at as a legit cotton field, 10 by 20. It ain't got to be no huge acres and acres. All you need is a 10 by 20. I said, I got plenty of room for that. I could have two of them, really. You know what I'm saying? So me starting to just deal with what I got, making me realize that little that I got is a lot to start with. But a lot of us trick ourselves out of that. So that's what I'm on now. What's up, family? Yes, sir. It comes later. Yeah, that's my family. You know, I shows on Wednesday nights, man. We in the stock market. We be talking about that market.
Mm-hmm.
And we got that Stocks to the Moon book coming, and we got a lot of different things. Industry, once again, stuff that gonna be around long after us. We're not just sitting up here talking about, you know, and that's another thing. When we be on these platforms, a lot of people think, okay, they just doing a podcast. I tell you all the time, no, this is just where we started. This is just
Mm-hmm.
getting the conversation started. We're building a network. We're gonna actually have real shows. We're gonna, you know, that's what I'm in the process for now. The hoopah that's been going around. Oh, you took a picture of Ross. They don't even know. They thinking about the picture. They don't even understand that was part of this Wealth is Gangster network. You know, that was a move for the Wealth is Gangster network to go to another level. That was
exactly,
because they know everybody know I got a music label. Oh man, we didn't even speak about music. They don't even know I have a music label. I went up there just for Wealth is Gangster. They don't know about the barbecue sauce. They don't know about the brothers cooking.
right?
They don't know about the most of the stuff I do. I went for one agenda to turn this what we're doing right now into a legit network. And now we got those wheels turning. Everything else will work itself out because I understand being around you industry. Like we gotta tap into all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what we. So my competition is really it's no competition. My thing is about okay. I'm trying to bring people on. I what everybody doing with the storefront and everybody doing with the stuff and all that stuff feels good and this all that's I'm not knocking none of that. That's great. But now it's time for us to take it up to another level. And this is what I tell myself.
Exactly.
This is what I tell myself. So it's easy for me to tell other people, we all got to take this to another level and think about the whole line of distribution. We need it all.
Remember this, okay, because I'm not going to spill out what I do and how I do it. But, you know, as we talk about, you know, this thing with competition and industry, right? Think about it. I told you when I met you that I'm not a clothing brand. And I don't care how many people will sit back and be like, that's a clothing brand.
Yeah.
No, it isn't. You know, because they're not really thinking on this. This is why I'm not in competition with Wealth is Gangster. I take my Wealth is Gangster hoodie and I put it on and I walk out and people say, oh, what's Wealth is Gangster? And I be like, yo, go over here. Right. You know, boom, boom, boom. What's the reason for competition? There is no reason why. Because one, I'm not a clothing brand. That ain't what I do. You know, but for them to comprehend the level in which industry building takes place, that's a whole nother story. And a lot of people don't want to sit long enough to dive into that part, you know, because a lot of us think it's really impossible, but it isn't. There are people right now building industry in their damn garage. You know what I'm saying? In their garage, at their kitchen table. Okay. They're not going, oh, you know what? I'm gonna make these cell phone cases and I'm gonna sell them to people because I know people need cell phone cases. No, I mean, I'm not knocking that.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
it's a bigger picture.
You got to think bigger than that, right? That will lead you to be in the competition with whoever else is making cell phone cases.
Yeah.
Me, I don't see the opportunity in that. What I see in the opportunity is okay, how can I make these cell phone cases? And then I go over here to one of the biggest distributors of cell phone cases and let's him and I talk about some business.
Yeah.
And see what kind of deals we can make. And now we done join together and it's like we pushing cell phone cases around the world.
Yeah, pushing it out of here. Now people they don't understand, man. It's a lifestyle. That's what you're talking about when we first came on. And to piggyback on what you're talking about. Speaking of, I got the website up, so it's time for me to get the link so I can get my link on your site. Going off what you just said. Remember, you had put the shirt up.
Yeah, I told you. Yeah.
So now I have the website ready for you. Now, going off what he just said, it's not about no competition. He has a site that's ready to push brands like mine. You know what I'm saying? To push brands like mine. So it was my job to get my stuff in place so I can get on his site. You know.
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So we got it wasn't. It's never no competition. It's
Mm-mm.
definitely about, okay, he's talking about industry. I'm talking about a lifestyle brand of this or that, and this. All that's cool. All he's saying is say, well, let's connect it. Then that we could flow traffic. That's how you flow traffic.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And now people see me,
Exactly.
they strolling on his website. Well, this gangster link. Oh, let me go to their website, see what that's about. And then they see me and what I'm doing and what I got going on coming from you. You know what I'm saying? And it just circulates. That energy circulates. So it's no competition. That's that abundance mindset. Like why would I compete with it when I could just join with it, be a part of it, help it grow, and you already know. I always tell you, you already got percentages and everything I'm doing. Whenever we just wait on things to get right. We already know what the back end is. We already know what that is. We worried about the front end of the work that we got to put in to get to the back end. You know,
but if we don't put in that work,
mindset.
Yeah, if we don't put in that work, there won't be no dividends to give around to anybody. And I keep telling people that. Some people are so worried about, like, when they sit in front of you, you know, it's like, oh, well, why am I going to sit in front of you? Oh, well, he must want some money, or he must want to trick me out of my money. Okay, first of all, nobody can trick you out of your money.
I'll tell them,
if you don't want to give it to somebody, you ain't gonna give it to them. That's one. Two, why would I call you? Okay, what? Just hear me out. Why would I call you, Tony, and say, hey, Tony, come meet with me? And you be like, okay, big homie, what's that about? Hey, you know what? I'm moving into some new industry, blah, blah, blah. I think this would be perfect for you. Okay, and you be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna get there. Where did it come in? The part that came in is that I am looking to take something from you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If I call you, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do if you want in on something. But see, what's been happening over the last few years in this community, say the last 10 years, is people are afraid to do what we do, you know, every week when we sit down away from this camera. They're afraid to do that. And they're afraid to do it because they think, one, they don't have anything to give. Two, they're going to con me out of something that I don't already have. And I get it. There are people that are out there exploiting people, you know, and playing the Jedi mind trick thing with, you know, making sure things look good. I get all of that. But that is not what this conversation is about. This conversation is about not competing. This conversation is the exact same thing you just said a few minutes ago. I'm going to join up. I'm going to get my website ready. And so he can link it to whatever he's doing. That's what it's about. That's how we build industry. We don't build industry if Tony don't get his website up and running and his operations isn't running right. We don't build it. We don't get that. We don't build industry if we don't do that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about, oh, just put it up there and be like, oh, Tony, I'm just going to throw it up. No, you got to do some serious strategic thinking of how it's going to work, you know, to get the maximum benefits of this going all around the world and becoming that thing. That's the problem.
Yeah. And it definitely is. That's what it is. It's basically it's cross promotion, it's affiliate marketing. It's a lot of different terms you could do. You could throw in there, and like even with my Kinfo Tremaine right there, he's building a curriculum for stocks, right? And I'm building a school, right? And so in my school, I got stocks and then like the Stocks to the Moon, the book cover that we posted a couple of weeks ago. This is something that's been in my mind for like I just said it to you probably a couple of times. The Stocks to the Moon, the children books, the different little books and stuff I want to do, right? Instead of us like, okay, he gonna do his stock thing, I'm gonna do my stock thing. First thing I told him, I said, well, let's do this book together, and then you got your own course. I'm building an online school. I want you to be a part of that. So you know, like, why would we compete when we could just join and I can help? I can make his situation bigger, and he can make my situation bigger, and he can take some load off me because that's what he likes to sit down and really put all that together. You know, me, I'm a thinker. I don't really just sit down and put it all together like that. I can think it up, and then I like to, you know, get with somebody that can really execute it. And he's executing it on the back end, even on the book part. He's like, okay, instead of you worried about all that, just give me your thoughts, this and that. I'll put it together. It just makes it easier for everybody. And I got a partner. Like, even when I told him about the private equity, I said, I want you to be a part of this. He's in the Army. He's overseas right now. He's traveling.
Right.
He got a couple years before he really retired. But I told him, I want you to be a part of this private equity company. Like, that's my spirit. I want good. And when people talk about, like, can people scam you? Of course. But to me, I can't get scammed. And I lost a lot of money doing different things. I done lost a lot of money doing different things, but I've never felt scammed because I was educated. I really thought this could work. And sometimes what we call a scam is a business that just didn't work. Like, that's part of business too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, he messed me out of some money. No, he didn't mess you out no money. The vision that y'all both had, it just didn't work. And that's okay.
It didn't work.
That's life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But in our community, that's a scam because we're not used to business. We're not used to putting up money and taking the losses. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're used to just going to the job, clocking in. To me, that's the biggest scam. You didn't scam me if we put some money in and we had a vision and it didn't work. I understand the thing because before I put money in, I'm gonna understand it can go good or it can go bad. I already know this going in. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, and then if I see a couple of things that went bad, oh yeah, that's why we lost. You know, like what I did with the school, I went 100 in the hole. I ain't scammed nobody. Well, you know, if anybody, I scammed myself, but I ain't even scam myself because I had a vision, I had a goal, I didn't execute right, and it didn't work. That's life. But what are we doing now? We already rebooting. We already got to retool it, and we coming with the online, and we're gonna have a new business that's a lot smaller, a lot more feasible and everything. So I learned from that. I didn't scam myself. I didn't take no losses. So we gotta, when you got an abundant mindset, you don't all that scam talk. Scam is for people that really don't know what they're getting into or really just have no knowledge of it, and they just threw some money in so they feel scammed because they really don't even know what they put money on anyway.
It's not a scam if you willfully do it. Now, I told somebody this the other day, you know, that I was doing business with, and it's, you know, skeptical people, you know, about things that they don't understand, right? Yeah. And I was like, it's not a scam if you willfully do it. Nobody can make you give your money to anyone, okay? If you come into a place and you say, I don't care what that person says, I'm not going to give them my money. It doesn't matter what I tell you. Yeah. It doesn't matter how good it sounds. That's an educated, you know, guess that you have to kind of do on yourself, and an educated decision to say, okay, well, let me dig deeper. You know, let me ask 1,000,001 questions. And if I don't get it in 1,000,001, I'm going to ask 2,000,001 until I get it. But it's always willful. It's never a scam. And I told this person this, and I said, so you get your paycheck and then you say, well, I'm going to Vegas this weekend and I'm going to play the slot machines or poker or whatever, right? You already know that you're going to take $500 and you're going to blow it. You already know that in the hopes that you're going to get some money. Yeah. But that's not the way people think when they lose. When they lose, the first thing they think is, well, it's rigged. Oh, so now you're going to call it a scam because you willfully put your money on that table.
Yeah, you should have did. If you should have thought like that before and said, "Nah, I think it's a scam. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna keep my $500." You know what I'm saying? But you can't go spend it and then call it a scam afterwards. If you really feel like a scam, don't go. Don't spend your money on it. You know, but that's how we think, and so that's why I want to get us back. Like I say, even with this Temple Rich movement that I'm starting, and it's more of a mindset. It's not even about rich because there's not a lot of richness in Temple yet. And I'm about to change that. But the mindset is where we got to start out first, you know. And I want us to start thinking more wealthy, thinking more rich, wanting to be a part of this, operating different. Those are the first steps of getting to some riches and wealth, you know. And speaking of,
you're right.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta make my little plug. I am Slippery Soap ambassador in this area. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta make sure I'm promoting.
Yeah.
You know? Make sure y'all go to y'all nearest AutoZone. And it's sad we're gonna get
Slippery
it closer.
soap.
But right now, the closest one is in Round Rock and Austin, man. Go get you this the tire, or this the soap for the car, and this the tire shine. Hey, Slippery Soap. I got a bunch of content coming out for that. And this is for your wheels. Have your wheels sparkling.
Oh yeah, I'm about to get some of that tire stuff, man.
Yeah,
because
so and that's what. Hey, we talking about what we talking about, boss man. We talking about industry, right?
Yeah.
This is a black-owned business. That's a guy that Jeremy. Shout out to Jeremy, the CEO.
Mm-hmm.
He played in the NFL a couple years, and then you know how it is. He got out. He started detailing, and while he was detailing his car, which is a mom and pop's operation, right? He started thinking, and I don't even know if he knew he was thinking industry. He started thinking, I can't, just washing cars is cool, but this is something, what we say earlier, that you could pass on. He couldn't pass on the detailing car, but he could pass on the Slippery Soap. Now, this is AutoZone for to be in Walmart's. Even long after he goes, Slippery Soap can be right by the Amaral and all the other companies that's right there. This is industry. So this is what we're talking about when we talk about, he could have stayed, and I think he still might detail cars whenever he feel like it, but now he got a multi-million-dollar business.
That's right.
And shout out to Rich Forever, Rick Ross. He got with him, and he took this from just selling it out his trunk to now they're in AutoZone. In 3 years, it went from out his trunk to AutoZone. This is what you call industry. You know what I'm saying? So,
and it's sitting right next to Armorall and ProShine and MasterGuard and all these other things. And it ain't worried about competition. Again, I think we need to dispel like the way people really think, especially in our culture, man. I'm telling you, we can't keep thinking mom and pop. We can't be thinking, detailing is cool. I'm gonna start a detailing business. Cool. But he took it to a whole nother level. He was like, screw that. Detailing may not be around. I lose a finger, I lose this, or I get too old.
Yeah.
But that Slippery Soap, that name and those products will carry on for years and years and years. You can literally take your grandbabies and teach them how to do this, how to manufacture these things, and then keep it going and going and going and going and going. That's how you get the big building with your name on the top of it, like all the other big businesses that are out there. But that's not our way of thinking. We are so busy worried about what the other person is doing. Oh, Kimo got a clothing line. Oh, that's how he make his money. And oh, you know what? I'm gonna start my own boutique. That's what we do. And that's some bullshit. The first thing you should say is, you know what? He's doing something. Let me see if I can get an appointment with him, and I want to sit down and talk with him.
Yeah.
Okay. I am not going to, Tony, you know this. Me and you, we talk all the time. How many times have you came in and sat down and I said, hey, Tony, check this out, homie. Give me $45,000, man. I'll put you on.
Yeah.
How many times have I said that? None.
No.
Exactly, because that's not industry building.
Yeah.
What that is nonsense.
Yeah.
Okay. And the nonsense has to stop. All right. If we're to make it in this world, we need to be taking things like Wealth is Gangster or whatever it is that we're doing, and we need to propel those things and create an industry around it.
Yes, sir.
That's what we need to do. Yeah. And it doesn't matter if all the notoriety is going to the Wealth is Gangster brand. That's got nothing to do with it. What it has to do with it is that Wealth is Gangster brand might be the thing that's going to pay you that 6 figures so that you and your family can live a good life. Mm-hmm. But they don't think like that.
And it's the machine that's behind it. You know what I'm saying? That's the big thing. Like a lot of people excited about the picture with Rick Ross. They don't understand the biggest move I made was teaming up with his team, his machine. That's what got me moving. Not like actually, I haven't even I haven't done no business with him. Everything's turning the way it's turning because his team is who I'm linked up with. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So the bigger deal is expansion and having that mind. And what am I doing right now? I'm not getting paid for this yet. But you know what I am doing? I'm adding value to this. You know why? Because
Correct.
the store that I went to in Austin when I had made that video on, I was the first one. They said that they hadn't sold none of them. I was the first one that bought some off the shelf. Since I did that video, they done sold like
a lot.
So what did I do? I'm not even getting paid yet, right? But what I'm saying is I added value to a company and see and what somebody needs to say when they sit there, you sit down with Kimo, quit trying to think about what Kimo can do for you and figure out how can I add value to what he got
right.
going. If I can add value to what he got going on, I automatically get in a better position. Oh, man, T over there doing this. How can I add value to what he got going on?
Exactly.
Because if I can add value, T gonna automatically, because you know me, I'm always looking for people to give percentages to and this and that and that. So what if a person said, man, I don't even want no money. I just want to add value to what you got going on. That's gonna be the first person to get a percentage or something. You know
and that goes back to that thing that we don't talk about, that I won't tell anybody about, that we talk about. Yeah. And I'm like, when we talked about that, I was like, oh man, I don't need no equity. I'm about to blow this up.
It's coming.
That's how we need to be thinking.
Yeah. And because we got the bigger picture, and more of us need to get the bigger picture. And I brought this up. Even I'm gonna shout my guys out for Shield of Valor. A black-owned company in executive protection field, right? I've been working with them for years. I ain't got a dollar for them. Matter of fact, I done came out of my pocket to help and throw events and do what I can for them. Because if I can blow that up, man, one contract, they got contracts going from $100 million to $600, $700, $800 million. One contract will be well worth my 3-4 years of working for free because I see the bigger picture. I could, and when I first met with them, they said, man, we have a problem because most people don't want to work for us for free. Most people don't want to just help and we don't got no money to pay them up front. And I'm like, forget paying me up front. I see the picture. I see what this can be. I'm cool on the payment. We'll talk about that later. You know what I'm saying? Because I see industry. That's an industry. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Them boys can go protect anywhere across the world, anywhere in the world. But I added a community protection base to it. And that's what I added on to it. So I seen a company that could be huge, and I seen what it can do for the community, what they was already doing, but I seen how I can add value to it. So another thing we need to do when we talk about competition, quit competing with each other and figure out how to add value to you. Like,
exactly.
All me and you do. When we could, our competition is trying to figure out how we can add value to each other more.
Exactly.
That's the competition we is. I'm trying to figure out, okay, if I blow this up, I already know the big homie gonna be good because he already this and that. And it's like that's our competition is how can I add value to you? And yours the same way. All you do is add value to me. I call you, hey man, what you think about this? Can you come up with this kind of contract? Oh, let me call my lawyers. I get back with you. This and that. I got this idea. Well, let me call my people. Let me see if we can work this out.
Exactly.
And that's what we do. It's about add value to the situation. And more of us think like that, man, we'll be unstoppable, man. Just add value. Let's compete with seeing who can add the most value to each other. Let's have that competition. Let's have a competition where every business in this area, all we're gonna do is see if we can add how much value we can add to each business that we really believe in, and see how things will be different in another year if everybody had that mindset.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. I think that's just one of the things that we could do so much more if we get rid of that competition mindset. If we get rid of that, oh, I'm hating and throwing shade on somebody else. I literally will walk into businesses, and this, and they could be failing. And the first thing I'd be thinking is, you know what? I could do like some people in the world, and I could, exploit the whole situation. But I'm like, nah, let's sit down and figure this out, and let's blow this thing up a different way. Yeah. And don't worry about paying me, because the benefit of it is if we blow it up, we all gonna eat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We all are gonna eat. Everybody's out there, I'm gonna try to say this without offending anybody, because when I'm on this show,
Yeah.
I'm just talking like we normally talk, you and I.
Yeah,
I'm
for
not
sure.
talking to give no nuggets. I ain't talking to,
Yeah,
motivate and inspire.
we
I'm just
having a
talking
regular
how,
conversation publicly. We having a regular
right.
conversation publicly.
Exactly. So I'm gonna try to say this without offending anybody, but me personally, the way I think is like this. A business don't mean a thing to me if it's not investable.
Yeah.
I won't even take a look at your business. I don't give a damn what you sell.
Yeah.
If it ain't investable, I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah.
What's the point in that? The reality is this. You got a business that's struggling, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason behind it. Okay. It ain't got nothing to do with what Chemo doing or Tony's doing or whatever, and this, and nobody's in your way. Nope. It's struggling for a reason, but until we start understanding that industry building is about investing. Okay. Those businesses will never get to the next level. Okay. Because the one thing that they're not willing to do is invest in their own business. You know what I'm saying? You worried about me taking money from you. You should be worried about you taking money from you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about me. Because if you don't want to put your money into something and make it investable, then what's the point of even doing it?
Yeah. It's all pointless.
It's pointless.
It's all pointless. And this is real. And this my big homie, and this is what he tell me. Like, I'll be talking about something. First thing he talk about, well, I'm trying to figure out where it's investable at. Because if it ain't investable, even though I got love for you, Tony, but we ain't going to talk about stuff that ain't investable. You know what I'm saying? Let build it up, get it investable, and then we'll get it.
We'll talk about it. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But that's what helps raise me on a level where now anything I talk about is gonna be investable because he didn't program that in my head. I won't even bring it up to him if I don't even feel like it's investable now. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? So it won't even come out of my mouth. Even if it's an idea, I'm gonna keep it on paper. I'm gonna keep the thought or something, but I'm not gonna bring it to our table until I know it's investable, or at least possibility where it's investable. And then we can talk about it, and he can tell me yay or nay. But if it's something that's just flat out not investable that I haven't thought out, I'm not bringing it up because that's the way I didn't program myself being around you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying with the community. We got to stop being offended by stuff and just, it ain't investable. Okay, well, let me go back to the drawing board. But, it's nothing you can say that offends me because I understand where we're trying to get to in the mission. So I take it all like, okay, well, let me see. Let me figure this out. Let me think about it. Let me work on this a little bit harder. So that's another thing. When we come competition, we get offended by everything. Like, you can't sit down and tell somebody, man, your business ain't worth nothing, this and that, you need to do this. But see, sometimes a lot of us scared to say that. One of my first things I said to you is, man, I got $1 billion vision, but I'm running it like a mom and pop store. I'm all over the place. I know I ain't doing it right. I'm missing something, this and that. Most people not gonna be that transparent and real. Most people got the best business ever, and then you looking at them like, this ain't no good business.
Exactly. Ain't worth nothing.
Ain't worth nothing.
Ain't worth nothing.
It might sound good. It might feel good. You might have made a couple dollars on the street corner with it, but it ain't worth nothing. And we got to understand the difference.
I was there, many, many moons ago before somebody did to me what, I'm doing to you. And somebody sat me down and they just told me the truth. And they was like, you ain't got no business. What you got is a side hustle, and that side hustle ain't even worth a nickel. I was like, what? Because what I had to learn was what perceived value was. And a lot of our businesses, they function off of perceived value. Perceived value is it looks good, and I put some money in it, but there's really no value there.
Yeah,
okay.
You personally feel like it's the best business ever. Yeah.
Right. Until somebody sat me down and they was like, nobody gonna want to join that shit. What are you being so secretive about? I was like, what you mean secretive? Well, I'm trying to protect it. It was like, you trying to protect what?
Ain't nothing to protect. You know what I'm
saying? Ain't nothing to protect. Yeah. I was like, what in this? You just really trying to reduce me down to nothing and just make me feel like crap. And I was like, you know what? I started listening more, and they was like, "Look, I'm just telling you how it is.
Yeah.
If you can, if you can look in your bank account and you can't see the benefits of this side hustle,
Some ain't clicking.
something ain't right.
Yeah.
Something ain't right. You know, I don't care what you've invested into it.
Yeah.
It ain't right. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what the expenses are every single month. If you're struggling to pay those things,
Yeah.
your business is not valuable. It's not worth anything. And I'm just telling this to everybody out there that's listening to me, because at the end of the day, do you want to spend a lifetime building something that ain't worth anything? You know what I'm saying? No. What you want to do is you want to build this thing and you want to make it investable. You want it to be a slippery soap. You know what I'm saying? Come out, I invest this money in there. There is no perceived value in slippery soap.
Yeah.
It's on the shelf.
Hey, Miss Lisa, I haven't seen you in a while.
You know what I'm saying? It's on the shelf.
It's on the shelf.
It's on
now.
the shelf. There's no perceived value of anything.
Nah,
To get on that shelf, you had to do some things. You had to make some moves. You had to burn some money. You had to
have some stats. You have to have some numbers and stats behind it. Yeah.
Exactly. He changed the perceived value of the detailing shop and the slippery soap. And then he now has that actual net value of that particular product. You know what I'm saying? And that's what industry is building. He's not a retail business owner or retail product business owner. He inserted himself into the car cleaning manufacturing industry, where he can expand on slippery soap to make so many different car products. It ain't even funny.
Yeah. Now he got people like me, ambassadors. Now I'm in an area that was selling it slow. Now I'm picking up the pace. Now we're finna do car shows, and then it's gonna be brought to you by Slippery Soap. You know, Rick Ross had the biggest car show in America, basically in his front yard. And who is it brought to by? Slippery Soap. Everybody that's there showing off their cars, who they wash their car with, Slippery Soap. If you want to detail Rick Ross cars, who you think you gotta have? What kind of soap you think you gotta have? You know what I'm saying?
Slippery Soap.
So it's a whole movement behind it. And now it's people like me that got my own businesses and got my own movement. And what am I doing? Promoting Slippery Soap. So you know you big when you got people that's doing their own thing and still having it, you know, and still now I'm an ambassador. And people like, but you got your own brands. Wealth is Gangster. That falls within my brand. All this is Wealth is Gangster. This is pushing. And then when I sit there, that's why I like sitting down with you, because this industry, this is what we talk about all the time. I'm part of a real industry now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As well as being taught by you to build my stuff into being industry and investable in this and all that. So why wouldn't I get with a company like that I can learn? Well, I'm already learning. I'm actually part of a huge industry that's on shelves, and I can tell you right now, go to AutoZone and this and that. And, you know what I'm saying? So this is part of what we do, man. I appreciate you, big man. But yeah, that's what we do, man. And so this is what to wrap up this whole conversation about competition, industry. And like I said earlier, I want to be the example. I'm not just gonna sit and talk about it no more. When I talk about industry, I'm gonna hold up stuff that's industry. When I talk about industry, I'm gonna tell you that my website is up now. So now it's time to put it on your site so we can do what we talked about doing. When I talk about industry, we talk about the CEO Youth League website that'll be done in a few days or whatever. And we're gonna get into what we're not gonna talk about, what we're gonna talk about that's coming out soon. You know what I'm saying? Like these are real.
I ain't gonna bring that up.
These are real industries, and we're not just talking about it. And we talk about, we talk about a lot probably, but it's getting ready to really get put out to the world. You know what I'm saying? And it's really connected. Before you know it, man, I did my first little deal. By deal 2 or 3, you're gonna be seeing some type of factory somewhere in somewhere that we own and control, that we didn't invest some big money into it and got the machines, and that's gonna be the next step. So you're watching this. So that's what I'm saying. We're not just talking about it. You're gonna actually see factories come up out of this. You're gonna actually see
Yeah.
products. You're gonna actually see the cotton farms that's gonna be building the gangster shirts and the K7J shirts, and like all this is coming down. So we're not just talking. That's what this is what I want our community to do. Let's stop talking. It's cool to talk because we gotta, I have wonderful conversations with you, but after that we gotta put some action to work. We gotta actually do some things.
You're right.
Because we can talk forever. Then pretty soon that people gonna be like, but I don't see nothing. Y'all just be talking a lot, but I don't see nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we show it as we talk, because talking is one thing, and then talk and execute. That's the real thing. Now, if you talk about things and then you execute, that's the real thing. So, any ending words as we get ready to wrap this up?
Yeah, I'm gonna make this plain and simple because like I said, I know you and I are not on here to be any experts, and we're not claiming to be any experts, and I don't want people to think that I'm an expert on anything, but I'm just going to keep it real. Listen, we, us, business owners and entrepreneurs out there, we don't have to prove anything to anybody. Okay? We don't. This is not about, proving something to somebody that you're a great entrepreneur, you're a great business owner, you're great this. That's shit's got to stop. What it's about is us building industry. We got to come to the table and we got to be like, this is what I bring. Okay, no bullshit. This is what I bring. What do you bring? I bring X amount of this, that, this, and this, and the other. I have the machines that can make this, so I bring that to the table. That's what you have to do. And if you ever watch the Godfather series, you should watch that, because that is one of those movies that talks about how industry actually is, because those leaders don't come to the table without bringing something to that table. And I ain't talking about no donuts, and no good looks. I'm talking about, if you even want to talk to me, you got to bring something to the table. And I ain't talking about something to the table for my benefit. I'm talking about something to the table that we can make investable, and that we can say, you know what? Hey, I'm willing to drop some of my coins into this because I see the outcome of it. That's where we need to be. And we ain't quite there yet. So I just wanted to leave that with the viewers. You want to go places, you better change your mindset. You better start thinking bigger than just paying your bills. You gotta take it to a whole nother level.
We have to.
So that's it.
And we're gonna do, we're gonna talk about, instead of so much competition, let's bring collaboration over competition. Let's do it.
Right.
Collaboration over competition.
Competition, yeah.
Because that's where the real money at. And it's weird because we be so independent and all about ourselves. Man, I got to get this money. I got to get this bag. But the real bag is when you collaborate with more people. Like I always tell people, like, I'm gonna make my money. You'll make your money.
Mm-hmm.
But the money that we can make together, we wouldn't be able to make on our own without each other.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So I try to get people to realize that, yes, you can make your money. And Chemo lights would not get cut off if he didn't talk to Tony no more. Tony lights would not get cut off if I didn't talk to Chemo no more.
Right.
But the bigger vision and what we can really see, that would be it'll be a dishonor to both of us if we didn't collaborate to really build what we can build.
They ain't ready for what we're about to really bring.
We just cooking up, man. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? I've been on a little tear lately, you know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is, what I be posting ain't even really what's gonna happen. They don't even really know what's happening. And that's how you know it's so much going on, because what's the real stuff that's gonna hit them, we don't even talk about that yet. Because we still cooking it up. We still building.
Yeah.
We put it together. There's a lot of things that still gotta happen, man. So I just once again, I appreciate you. I'm gonna end it with that. You know what I'm saying? I love our conversations.
Same here, bro.
And I know we didn't miss the meeting. Too. We gotta link up face to face because we have great conversations over here, but you know we have our real conversations off camera. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be getting with you, man. I appreciate you, everybody that tuned in. You know, Miss Lisa, I need to bring you on our stock show. Bam, you already know what it is. I got to get you up on there. I see what you're doing with the crypto. Dr. Tony Norris, salute you, man. Tremaine, I'll talk to you tomorrow. And everybody else that tune in and out, man, make sure y'all like, subscribe, and share the video, man. And we'll be back next week better than ever, man. Peace.
Yeah, that's peace. Later.